I probably want my team to be the greatest. So you have to have
Amen.
all A's.
The GOATs. Would your mascot be the GOATs? What would your mascot be?
He'll be the GOAT. Cause
The
he will be
GOAT?
GOATs,
Yes.
the greatest of all time.
Greatest of all times, man.
That would be cool if there was a high school. Hey, I'm the North Charleston Goats. Boy, what, y'all the Goats?
The
yeah,
Goats.
greatest
And
of all
then-
time.
And then they play us, and then even the while we the GOATs.
Yeah.
There's got to be a team with the GOATs somewhere. You're in a suit on your profile picture?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I wouldn't know yet
Because you saw
because Instagram.
'Cause
Because I got a problem with my Instagram and my keyboard, and I got fat fingers, and I repeated kindergarten. It's
Oh, my
it's a total problem. Well, cool. Well, we'll get started here, man.
Yeah.
Ishmael Turner, dude, thank you for hopping on and being a guest co-host on the
Appreciate
show. A local coach, basketball coach here in Charleston, and Dayday Carswell, our guest of honor. And we're excited to get together and catch up a little bit, talk about the exciting things and the exciting season that you're in right now, kind of sitting and looking for that optimal college experience, playing college basketball, which is super exciting, something that I dreamed of until I turned 7. And did you play college or high school?
I had the opportunity, but we can kind of talk about that.
Yeah, sure. And so we'll do brief introductions. And first, as we like to start out with shout-outs, giving honor and giving thanks for those that helped us get to where we are today, which you're in an awesome position in life right now, I believe, and helping us just set up the show. So just for me to give some shout-outs to help set up the show. Pastor T, who's in the background, Pastor Tamilix Copeland, giving him a shout-out. Thank him for allowing us to record here at North Charleston High School basketball gym.
Yeah.
Here in Charleston, South Carolina. Pretty cool facility. I haven't been here yet.
Great facility.
We got the state champion banners going on in the background all the way back to 1948, from what I can tell.
Oh, man.
Which is pretty wild, pretty awesome.
Yeah.
My high school didn't have any such banners for any sport to my knowledge.
Yeah.
A school called the Academic Magnet isn't that well known for sports.
Hey,
but I digress.
I have beef with your school.
I digress. Well, hold off on the beef, man, because we still got to give shout-outs. And shout out to Conlon and Casey in the background helping out with the production aspect of this podcast. So y'all have any honor, any thanks y'all want to give?
Really? My parents. I always like to.
My parents,
thank
my
them.
grandparents.
Yeah, thank them for putting me on the planet. No, but really, especially with what we're talking about, really have to give thanks to all my coaches really growing up. My motivation for wanting to coach Lewis Mulkey, who passed away in the Charleston 9 fire. He was a firefighter.
Wow.
My head coach from college, Coach Barclay Radeball, he's really like a huge mentor to me. My first boss in the professional world down the street at the College of Charleston, Earl Grant. I really owe it all to them. Really, they put me in the position for success. My mentor, Anthony Weston, my head coach at Summerville High School, David Long. Really, everybody's poured in really my dream to coach and want to impact young lives. So, I'm just thankful to a lot of people. I could go on and on and on, but
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And how long now have you been coaching?
I mean, all in all, if you want to count like the years I was a student assistant coach at Charleston Southern, and then at College of Charleston, I was there for the last 3 years. I mean, really 7+ years. But this was my first year as a assistant coach at Summerville High School.
Nice.
So it was a great experience. Had a great year. So it's pretty neat ride.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dayday, who you want to give a shout out to?
You got a piece of
snap.
paper?
Hey,
I only got a piece of
he
paper.
pulls out a scroll.
Yeah.
I like how y'all dissing me on the low like that. Nah,
No diss. Maybe fun.
Yeah.
shout out to Coach T, Miss Melissa, my little sister Malia, of course you all that's here, my coaching staff, which is Coach Brown, and Mr. Gilbert. That's it, man. Oh yeah, and Pastor John. Yeah, that's my dog. That's my dog.
Yeah.
And Miss Chandler. And that's it.
Chandler Moore.
Yeah. That's it.
Awesome. Those are some good people.
I love them.
Some good people.
Yeah.
A lot of those people at the Seacoast Church Dream Center campus, I recognize that I got to know you a little bit mainly through that experience serving over there. I might have played a little bit of basketball with you guys.
No, you didn't.
No, I'm going to take credit. At some point, I'm sure I did. At some point.
That boy schooled you. That's why you don't remember.
Yeah, it left.
The only time we ever hung out is when we went to Daniel Island.
Oh.
No, we went to DI. We went to Sesame.
Oh, great.
We went to Daniel Island,
too, as well.
As well?
Yeah, in surplus.
Ooh.
Cool.
That's
So
the academic magnet education coming in. I don't know those words either, man. It's all right.
where they mow the grass 3 times a day,
man.
every day. It's a great community. And so we're going to be talking about, again, your current phase in life and really just how you grew to get to this current phase of life. So as I mentioned, sort of describe where you are right now. You're about to graduate high school and about to move on to a new journey. Kind of just describe this current phase of your life and how you're feeling right now.
I feel good, had an excellent season, good support behind my back.
When you say excellent season, I heard you were like the leading rebounder or something in the world? Or was it the universe?
It was number 2 in nationals and number 1 in the state. Grabbing
For rebounds?
Yeah.
That's
grabbing
awesome.
16 or 17, one of those numbers.
Like, is that an average per game
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Like almost every game.
16
That's
or
big
17
time.
a game.
Yeah, until an academic magnet, shade thrown, tried to injure me. Oh, no.
Tried to injure you?
No, actually they did.
Come on, you can't subscribe intent on somebody else like that. Come on,
I'm
man.
subscribing intent on
Did
that.
they tell you they're trying to hurt you?
Yeah, they did.
They did.
No.
They did no
They
such
didn't.
thing.
Nah, they didn't. But yeah, until I got injured with academic magnet game, I think I twisted my ankle, and then I was out for like 3 I was out for 2 games. Try to rush back, but
Yeah, that's
ain't-
tough.
It ain't come back like that. And then when I did come back, I played y'all again and had 20 and 21 and made the news for it.
What's 20 and 21 mean? What are you talking about there?
20 points and 21 rebounds.
Okay.
And made the news for it, like I said. And then and yeah.
That's sick.
It's pretty. 20 and
No
20.
big deal.
Those are Anthony Davis numbers right there. Those are NBA numbers.
Something slight.
Yeah, I hear it.
That's pretty awesome.
Humble,
Number
humble.
2 in the country. Is there a website that basketball uses? I know football uses Max Preps,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, we use
Yep.
Max Prep too.
Yep.
Max Preps.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I was your age, man, of course I was way on a lower level playing football, but I'd always look on Max Preps, man. It was like,
sure.
got to see how you're doing.
Yeah, Max
Make
Preps,
sure those
huddle.
stats get loaded on there, because if it ain't loaded, it didn't
Yeah,
happen.
Yep, that's for sure. That's for sure.
That's cool.
Max Reps is a good
Yup.
good source for that kind of stuff. So that's good.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you're right. Like you said, if it's not uploaded, then nobody knows about it, which is sometimes a.
I mean, that
pain.
depends. That depends who your coaching staff is.
That's why I didn't get to play college football, man. My Max Preps didn't get
They
loaded
didn't
up
get- they
enough.
didn't get-
man. They didn't
oh
get the
my
memo
gosh,
that I was
man.
scoring all those
They let you
touchdowns.
down like that.
Man, those 70-yard punts, they just didn't get the memo, man. That is kind of not a true story at all, but I did try to walk on the football team in college.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, I went to the Citadel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fire those cannons.
Whenever we score.
Yeah, yeah.
We've
That's
had
a
some
lot.
great seasons
Yeah,
lately, though.
Yeah.
Cool. And so where are you right now? You just finished the season pretty recently, and you're looking at playing college ball. Kind of describe this season of sort of approaching colleges and colleges approaching you and those interactions a little bit.
How you mean?
So are coaches coming to you? Do they send you letters? Have you been developing relationships?
I mean, I have 2 coaches' numbers on my phone.
No big.
I have Coca College coach that's in my phone. Name is Coach Jeff.
Jeff Hardwick. Good guy.
Yeah, good guy.
Good guy.
Awesome.
I talked to him a little bit. He told me he wanted me to come down. Of course, I have to have my sickle cell done before I try to go any.
So there's some like medical screening stuff you got to go through. That's pretty standard for pretty much anything.
So, yeah. And I have Bob Jones, but I think it's just the admission office that keep trying to call me. They call me a lot. And they ask me all the time.
Darn it, Bob Jones.
Yeah.
Stop blinking my phone, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. College is
Yeah,
college.
no, for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
They call like every They say they call every 2 weeks, but I feel like they call me every 2 days.
Dude, call him back.
I do. I text. I answer all the time.
Okay, you texting them back?
No, I answer the phone.
Texting the admissions office.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Yeah. So they call and they ask me like, what is my intention on going to Bob Jones? Like why I want to go there and what I want to major in, and if I want to play basketball there or not.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good on my belt. And of course, I just went to Francis Marion for a workout 2 weeks ago.
Cool.
So that was good. I think about like 30 kids, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
And it was good. I had a fun time, man. So.
How'd you feel about it? That's probably the most important thing. Do you feel like you had a great day? Some days can just be a little off, or
that day was
better
great.
than normal.
Got up early, like a 2-hour drive. Even though I left my what you call it? I left my what did I leave? My medical thingy. What you call it?
Like a form or results?
Yeah, my form, physical form.
Yeah,
my physical.
I got you.
If you don't have a physical, you can't play.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I left that. So we had to turn all the way back around. Wow. Just to turn all the way back around again.
Yeah.
So it was a fun day.
You just got to blast some extra like motivational music or podcasts.
Yeah.
Or some radio or something. Get some extra development in the car.
Yeah.
Highway University, as I've heard it's called.
Keep you busy.
Cool. So you're currently, right now, as it stands, you're currently undecided, but pursuing playing that college ball, and you currently have offers, right? Currently have offers to play college ball. You're kind of just trying to figure out what that best approach is, right?
Yes, sir.
Kind of that best fit. So let me ask you this: Did you think 4 years ago that you'd be in this position right now, which to me is a pretty good position?
Yeah. No. I didn't think I would be here for real. No.
At what age have you always wanted to play college ball, or how'd that sort of dream, if you want to call it that, how'd that sort of start?
Well, when I was like, let me see, I guess it all started when I picked up a basketball. Of course, that's everybody's kid's dream to pick up a basketball and automatically go to the NBA. But like when I was little, I picked up a basketball and I don't know, I just started liking it, started shooting the ball, even though I made a lot of air balls, but hey, I'm 7.
You play what, power forward?
I play center.
Center, okay.
Yeah. So, I just started when I was young in New York City, where I grew up at. So, yeah.
So you think whenever you were how old you kind of started looking at possibly hoping to play college one day?
Yeah, technically, yeah. My dream was always to go to the NBA, but it's like a 1% chance of that happening. Yeah. So I just figured, if I go to college, I play basketball and see what happens. So try to work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ishmael, you've played pretty good high school ball, and you had that opportunity to play college.
Yeah.
For you, what was maybe a takeaway from your experience and being in similar shoes?
Yeah. Really, like Dayday said, I mean, I think when every kid picks up a basketball, kicks a soccer ball, throws a football, their dream is to play, on the professional level. I've always known that I was talented, but I knew that the basketball would stop bouncing for me one day. I think that's what everybody says, and I knew.
Now you
that,
just tell other people to bounce the basketball.
I try. So I knew that it would end for me one day. So I knew I had people around me that are probably like the same people that are around Dayday that say, if you can use basketball to get an education and get some financial assistance with your education, whether it be like, full scholarship, partial scholarship, pay for books, room and board, stuff like that, then you should use it to kind of excel and gain that education, that 4-year degree. So I knew that if I could, I would take it as far as I could take it, but I knew that the education was going to carry me much further.
Sure.
And it's just because I had the people around me that were real with me and realistic and telling me that, you're not good enough to play in the NBA. You're barely good enough to play in college. So.
But you were a part of a pretty high caliber team in high school.
Yeah.
Created some great opportunities.
Yeah,
right?
Great opportunities. I actually played at Summerville High School. Didn't end up graduating from there, but I was part of the only state championship team at Summerville High School in 2008, basketball state championship.
Sure.
at Summerville. So those were great athletes. AJ Green is among
yeah?
among the stars from that team. He was a senior on that team.
Right, yeah. I still remember whenever we were, sophomores, juniors in high school, I still remember reading articles about him, which I thought was the coolest thing to see someone our age being in, like, ESPN magazine or whatever.
Top player in the country.
Yeah.
Highly recruited, obviously went to Georgia.
Yeah, it's really inspiring.
So it was pretty cool to be on a team where there were so many people in the gym, not there for you, but it felt like you could, live in this dream. Yeah, all these people are here for me. Yeah, so.
Right.
So.
You'd be a part of it.
Yeah. Basketball's a great it's a great way to excel if you can use it. So that's what Dayday's doing.
Yeah, sort of the avenue.
Proud of him for that.
Dayday, how do you see it right now? Because you do mention an interesting point about so many people's dreams is the top tier of everybody, which I'm not going to tell anybody don't dream big. That's not a message that I could ever tell.
Not at all.
But where do you see it for yourself right now? What I just heard from Ishmael is, in your experience, it was more of a means to an end rather than the end itself.
Yeah.
Help being a good basketball player, help create other opportunities outside of basketball. Dayday, how do you see it right now for you in the next year or two? I mean, where do you see basketball fitting in?
I see it going as overseas. Because, it's real hard to get into the NBA because, you have to have the good grades. And, of course, I waited too late to have my grades at where I want them to be. So I say, in 2 years, I say about overseas. If not, be a spokesman for basketball or something. Yeah. That's my dream, to stay within basketball relations.
Yeah.
So basketball is your passion.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You got to stay within your passion, man. That's what's going to make you come alive and encourage people, develop people, and ultimately people want to hire people that are passionate about what they're doing. You may not even need to be the best announcer or the best player. You might be the best of both of those. I have no idea. But you don't have to be the best. But to have the passion and the drive can take you a lot further than just raw talent or anything like that. So, do what makes you come alive. If that's what makes you come alive, then pursue it. You might get to school wherever you're going. You might find, I don't know, you might get locked down somehow one way or another. You might find you like school, and you might get some job opportunities through just being on the basketball team. I know employers, at least the way I look at it, employers would love to hire basketball or sport players in college, because whenever you're playing a sport in college, it's already like having a full-time job.
Absolutely.
And you're already, whereas most college students, take 15 hours a week or whatever of classes and then party. I mean, you're probably not going to be partying a ton. And that discipline that gets developed, I mean, employers like that. They're looking for it.
The versatility it creates, being able to balance morning practice with going to class. With going
two-a-day
right
practices.
Right back to practice and weights and going to the athletic trainer, then going right back to studying and having to maintain a good GPA. I mean, the versatility it's going to be able to give you, the tools that it's going to provide are going to last forever. So that's something you really have to embrace whenever you get that opportunity.
Yeah. And so, Dayday, let's stay on maybe the now for a few more minutes, and maybe just help me understand a little bit of the team that you got to be a part of here at North Charleston and the coaching staff. You didn't grow up in Charleston. You moved here at some point. I don't remember if you moved here in 9th grade or later. Right. But how was that transition, and how was that just being a part of the North Charleston High School basketball team?
All right. When I first came down here, it was 9th grade year. You got it right. No, okay. It was 10th grade year. It was 10th grade because I couldn't play at all.
I got it almost right.
Yeah. It's hard to remember. I couldn't play my 10th grade year because my transcript was, messed up.
Yeah.
So I sat down a whole year. Well, I didn't sit down. I played JV.
Okay.
But in my eyes, I sat down because I wanted to play varsity, of course.
Sure. Okay.
So the coach and staff, they tried to put me on varsity. I guess you had to write a letter of intent, I think, something like a letter or.
Yeah, letter of intent's a pretty standard thing. We try to do that actually on the podcast. Employers do that, letter of intent.
Yeah, to be able to play varsity on my situation of what happened while I came down here. Obviously, I got frustrated and I was like, no, don't do that. Just leave it as it is. I'll play JV for my first year. What was a terrible idea. Don't ever do that.
Why do you say that?
Because when you have talent and you can play among the best players, play with them. Like if because JV is to, of course, get your game up. Of course, always try to strive to be better. But like if you know that you're up there, why not play with the high people, and help the team out, win a championship or state.
Right. So JV, because my school didn't have any JV, it was too small for any sport. There's no real state championship for JV, right?
No, you just playing just to play.
Practicing, right?
And when I played JV, I was liking it. It was cool. And then I realized we don't got no playoffs. So the last game is the last game, and I can't get moved up at all because my transcript messed up. So you realize that the season was over. Like, my season is over, even though I'm in 10th grade, and I still wanted to hoop. So that put an end to that for my 10th grade year. And then when it got 11th grade, I played again. I wasn't really out there how I am like this year, but I was out there, you know. So of course I was doing my little thing, rebounding, scoring points as usual. You know, now a lot of people knew about me, and of course college coaches wasn't knocking on my door at first at all.
Sure.
And then when 12th grade came, 12th grade has been a great year. Cause college coaches knocking down the doors like you want them to be.
Yeah.
You know, being on the news, it's been a dream to be on the news.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, tell me more about that opportunity. How many times were you on the news? Was it like a video interview or was it just a feature?
It was like, I say it's like a feature. Like,
Okay.
Dayday Carswell came in and scored 20 and 21. Yeah. And I was like, oh, man, really? They got me in there? I was so happy in my living room that I yelled before you even said my name. So
Dude, I can relate on a much I can relate on a much smaller level because I got on the news once for like 2 seconds because I kicked a field goal and they did the like 10 p.m. Football highlights of the night, and they showed my field goal of all
Scotty
things.
Iceberg.
I was like, it's like, keep that forever.
Yeah,
but I don't know. We didn't record it and we lost it. So that was the end of that. Wow. So you had a whole feature though.
Yes,
that's awesome.
I was happy. I started yelling in my house, and it was like, and Miss Melissa started yelling at me, Dayday, you gotta calm down, trying to listen. And she trying to record it and stuff like that. So it felt good, man. Like, it really felt good. Yeah. And then after that, I just kept on playing. I was still doing my thing, still maintaining like my average, but it was hard because I was still injured. Like I played on an injured ankle on that game. So for me to sit there and do that, it was incredible. Yeah. So yeah.
Dude, that makes the story even better. I don't know if the news, they probably didn't capture that. Yeah. Injured ankle, scores 21 and 20 rebounds. Right. They probably didn't feature that, but that's pretty cool though. You know, sometimes you do want to rest when you need to rest, but sometimes you just got to kind of go with it, and then you see what happens whenever you could have just not played that game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be pretty wild.
That game right there was in the region, so really? I had to, yeah.
Oh yeah, tough.
So what is that, second round of the playoffs?
No, that was the region. The region is like
conference play.
Conference,
kind of,
yeah.
Okay.
So like, if you win the regions, you can either get all home
for the playoffs.
Like that. Yeah, for the playoffs. For the home seed and stuff like that. So when we played, I was like, either sit down and watch my team do what they do, or get up there and play with them boys. And I was like, whatever, give me some ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen. I remember those days.
Yeah.
I might have severe permanent blood damage from
liver damage
like
from taking
ibuprofen
too many of those.
for so long.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
Coach T was sitting there telling me, just take 3 now, and then afterward you take 3 halftime. You should be fine. I was like, all right, let's do this thing.
Oh, gosh.
It's like normal instructions, take 2 every 24 hours or something.
So
I hear it.
That's awesome.
So I'm running up and down the car. I can't even feel the pain. And then as soon as I got home, it hit me right there.
Yeah.
It was over.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was catching Charlie horses and all that.
Drink the Gatorade, try to recover a little bit, stretch out. And that's so cool. That's actually a really cool story. You did what you had to do, and you got really rewarded for it.
Yeah, I did.
And that's pretty cool. Would you say that's your top highlight, or do you have another highlight from this past season?
I have a lot of highlights.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I got a whole highlight video.
I'm not gonna lie, it didn't, like, I can always dunk, but like the first game I actually dunked in like high school was like our first game of Philip Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I actually dunked, that was good. Because, actually a dream to do is, it's not to always shoot like Curry, but to dunk like LeBron. So
I hear it.
Yeah.
So did you celebrate afterwards, or did you get back on defense?
I celebrated.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
You
know what your coaches wanted you to do, get back on D.
What was your celebrate? Did you do the cereal spoon bowl thing?
Nah, I just say,
ooh. You did the whole, tore your jersey.
Yeah. I didn't do all that. You get a check for that.
Yeah. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and then I guess that's when North Charleston High School basketball team started getting on the map because I think we beat them like 101 to like 26, I believe.
Wait. Slow down now.
Yeah. Philip Simmons' new program, they had to play with younger kids. They played a varsity schedule with 9th and 10th graders. They stepped on the court. You got to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
So
somebody had no mercy.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
And then, we played them, and then there was another one where we played Military Magnet, and I did my thing. I did my thing there too. Stole the ball.
That was a good game.
Yeah, stole the ball. Told my teammate to move out the way so I could dunk it. Yeah, and that was good too. And then that day of Military Magnet, we became number 1 in the state for points per game at the whole team.
Oh wow!
So everybody
that's
was
awesome.
doing it. Yeah, so everybody was doing their part.
Yeah, no, that's key. You
awesome.
can't necessarily just have one star player.
No, you gotta have everybody.
Make it to the end. You gotta have a good system.
Collective group.
Coming on the bench, coming off the bench.
Yeah.
How would you say the athlete-student leadership was on the team? Did it feel like you had really good camaraderie and good leaders on the team?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I was one of the captains out of 2.
Okay.
So it was me, Charles, and Desmond. We all looked after the team. I mean, we used to, of course, everybody's not perfect, so we did some goofy stuff too.
Yeah.
But like other than
keep
that,
it light at times.
Yeah, but other than that, we had everything under control. So Coach Brown wouldn't yell too much like he did like 3 years ago. So
yeah, if the coach isn't yelling at all, there might be a problem somewhere. I don't know.
Are you like the vocal leader, or are you like you just do it and everybody follows kind of guy?
I was like the leader.
Yeah.
Like, I was the speaker.
Yeah.
So you know how you come on the court and the ref be like,
No.
who the speaking captain?
Yeah.
Number 2.
I hear it.
That's a great question, though. You know, some people are more verbal, have a lot of verbal authority. Some people, they just like doing their thing, staying quiet.
No.
People follow.
Yeah.
No.
So you like to inspire verbally, generally speaking.
Pre-game speeches.
I felt like, I didn't do all that.
You didn't do the pregame hype?
Nah, we left that to Desmond.
Okay.
Yeah, we left that to him.
What was the pregame hype like?
It was just, hey, you. And everybody just get in there and start banging on the lockers and stuff like that.
That's cool.
You think we're a whole football team in there, but
right.
no, it's only 10 of us.
That's cool.
That's cool. Gotta let them know you're coming out.
You gotta let them know somehow, especially being on the away team. On the away, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So we had to spark up some kind of happiness and positivity going in the game every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you had pretty good camaraderie and pretty good culture on the team. Do you feel like there's one or two elements that help create that positive culture and create really good results? You know, it's sometimes more than just knowing the fundamentals of basketball, but it's, you know, a little bit more about character.
I mean, you just gotta give it to the coaching staff for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just like Coach Brown didn't play none of that. You know, you either come to practice or you didn't play the next game. So
it's very results based. You earn your spot.
You earn your
kind
spot.
of culture.
It's like earning your minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Coach Brown would say, "You ride that pond."
Ride the
Ride the pine pony.
Yeah. So if you didn't come to practice, you wouldn't play. If you would catch an attitude, you wouldn't play.
Yep.
Or for a team thing, if you would have fussed or cursed or whatever, you was running like nonstop for the whole practice. And our practice used to run to like 3-something to like 8, so 7, and we used to just run that whole thing.
Yeah.
We're not talking about suicide. We're talking about running a whole gym. So
Yeah.
you know, as you can see, it's kind of long and big. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that. But of course, you had to do what you had to do. You want to be the great. You got to do great things.
Yeah, yeah.
So did y'all have any guys, don't mention any names, that turned into endurance athletes for their mouth?
Yeah, we have a couple.
Did you?
Yeah, we have.
Was it one of those things where if one of you did something wrong, then everyone had to pay for it, or did they have to do it individually if they messed up?
It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that person constantly gets in trouble and we have to keep on dealing with it, then that person will just
Do
run,
it themselves.
do what he has to do.
Yeah.
But like if it's like, I'm using me as an example. If I got in trouble, which I don't, if I got in trouble, everybody will run.
Yeah.
And that's when, and you don't. I think that's not really the main reason.
Yeah.
Like I don't think the main focus is running. I mean,
Yeah.
of course it is, but like the main focus is how your team feels about it. Okay, you running, you making the whole team run. Now
Yeah.
the team gonna be mad at you and they don't want to talk to you no more. So that was the real getter. Yeah.
It's like that collective group thing we were talking about. It's kind of cool. That's what it's really like. I think that's what's one of the most important things about being on a team, any team. And I think it's something that probably everyone's heard. But if one of us fails, we all fail. If one of us succeeds, then we all succeed. So it's kind of cool that that's the approach that your coaching staff took. And I think that's something that a lot of coaches would do. But that's it teaches you team unity, and you really bond. Like you kind of hold everyone accountable. So I think that's pretty cool. You guys did that.
Yeah. How does that culture, in a nutshell, maybe briefly, how does that jive with some of the positive things that you've seen in your coaching experience?
And that's a good question. I think it's really created some of the best teams where some coaches lead by, not yelling like to be negative, but yelling to motivate you. Some coaches leave it up to the players to kind of hold each other accountable. So I think it's really important for building a culture. It's kind of cool, and I'm so sad that college basketball is over. But the Loyola Ramblers that just literally made it to the Final Four, 11 seed, no one knew about them, but their motto was created by culture. And I think it's something that's crazy that nobody expected them to be there, but they always believed as a team, as a collective unit, that they were capable of beating anyone. And I think it's really important, and I think that's cool. Like I said, it's very cool that your coaching staff would do things like that, because it was up to you guys to kind of call out your teammate. Yeah. It was up to you guys to hold them to a higher standard. And when you do that kind of thing, it really makes you so successful. You're a bond, you're brothers. You care about each other's success, and it really just makes, gives you better opportunities. So that's pretty cool.
It takes a lot too, because it'll be this game where we're doing terribly. Yeah. And our coach would just storm off. And he'll be like, you know what, captains, you talk to them. You're captain for a reason. And we used to sit there, and I was young, so I'm like, okay, what'd I do? I just sit there. But then I'm like, oh, all right, I got it now. And then I'll sit there and be like, y'all got to get your head in the game. We got to win. Either to win or go home, which I want to do. Wow. I ain't got time for that.
That's awesome.
So that's how you do it. That's what a coach is supposed to do. Is I don't even think delegate's the right word, but empower those younger athletes to bring up the even younger athletes.
It's like the Russell Westbrook way. His motto is why not? Why not? Like, why not you? Why not? That. So that's good. That's pretty cool. I'm proud of you for that, for stepping up.
Had to, man, because the years I've been here been tough, especially for the season. Like, you got a good team, but then when you need everybody, you just can't do it by yourself. Exactly. Ain't nobody LeBron James on that court. You got to use your team. And even LeBron James need help, so.
Yeah.
True.
He does.
You can't. So that's how it was. In the locker room, in the classrooms, in the court, everywhere. Everything was done at the team. Nothing was separated.
That's cool. Did y'all have any encouragement then outside of the actual practice time, whether that's academically or just hanging out on the weekends?
I think it was probably like a yes. Yeah. Sometimes we'll go to like North Charleston Middle School, and we used to just hang with the little kids there and talk to them while we hanging out.
Y'all are basically like pro athletes to them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
That's awesome.
So that was a good experience to teach the little kids, come to North Charleston. When you get old enough, play basketball, you see how we do things, so you won't be like a lost one in there.
Right.
Everybody's family. You don't leave nobody out.
Yeah.
That's how
solid message. Well, I did want to, you kind of led into the culture of, you're bringing up and helping to inspire those middle schoolers to do well in high school, and that's really where it starts. And creating that culture, not just on your team and in your school, but in your community, reaching out to other schools. I was just talking to a close friend the other day, because where I grew up, over on James Island, I remember when I was younger, there was so much potential in the kids that I went to school with, elementary, middle school. Yeah. Something happens in high school. Yeah. And I don't think it's just the high school that's over there. I didn't go to it. But something happens to where they have so much potential. They're star athletes, elementary and middle school. They're playing the rec league, and they're, just awesome, awesome kids. And something just happens. Yeah. I don't know what. I don't know if you can relate to kind of what I'm saying, where something happens when you hit high school, and a lot of students who had a lot of potential in 8th grade, who were maybe like the star football or basketball player in 8th grade, turn into like dropping out of high school?
I can relate to that.
Yeah. What do you think causes that, for one? And then do you have any ideas from your experience and how to help solve that?
I say your motivation, your self-esteem. Like, I always been taught, I just been taught this, like, your tongue can use to curse or it can use to heal.
Yeah.
So if you sit there and tell somebody, hey, you can't do that or you can't do this, of course that person's going to sit there and say, you know what, you're right. Especially at a young age.
Yeah.
Like, he's just getting into high school.
Oh, yeah.
And he's so caught up in being the man. And when you just sit there and tell him, man, you can't be better than him. You're not better than him. Because I got that a lot. Like, I got that a lot. And you'd be surprised, like, man.
Who'd you get that by?
Students.
I mean, was it mainly students?
Students.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get it from parents and teachers, but
Yeah.
you really don't take too much measure.
It's mainly
on them.
peers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be like, you're not going to be this and that, and you just gotta block them out, man. It don't matter what they say. You just got to keep striving.
That's perfect.
Like LeBron James says, strive for greatness.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Striving for greatness. I think, if you don't mind me, I think a big thing, and it's crazy you said that because that's something I thought about when we were talking about the topic of what we were going to kind of talk about. I think it's one thing that changes when you get to high school is the type of coaches that you have. Really, the staff, like in any sport, and really even in the classroom, it's about the kind of people that are around you. And I think, like you said, self-esteem. Well, where do you, as a young kid, you learn, like you build and break that stuff from the people who are around you. So if you're around people that are negative all the time, then you're going to think negative.
Yeah.
If you're around people that are positive, then you're going to think positive. So it's like you said, life and death are in the power of the tongue. It's birds of a feather flock together. Those big things that you hear all the time, you hear them, but it comes like through the action. So you have to kind of surround yourself by people that are like-minded. Like if you want to be successful, be around successful people or people that want to be successful in other things. It doesn't even matter what it is. So I think the big thing when it comes to sports and high school and even middle school, it's about the people that are influencing you. And I think that athletic directors and leaders that are above those people should really take into account the type of people that they're putting in power. Because I remember sometimes I had coaches that made me not want to play, and it's really sad that there's kids that are in our communities that have given up because of one bad coach. So I think it's really educating kids to realize that if people are being negative, they get out of that situation. They're not bound there. But it's really big who you surround yourself with. So.
And on that note right there, he's right, because at one point I wanted to quit basketball. Like, you dream about it for years and years and years until you get here and it's like, man, I don't want to play no more because this coach is always on my back.
Yeah.
But then you have to realize he's on your back for a reason.
Yes.
I've always been taught also, like, listen, if the coach not talking to you, it's a problem.
That's a problem.
Now, if he keeps talking and he's on your back constantly every day telling you what to do and this, it's because he loves you.
Yeah.
He see potential in you.
Wow. Yeah.
So if he start talking to you, then it's like, okay, he don't want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
He wants you to find your own way, and then come back to him when you're ready. So that's a good point that you just said. Just there.
Wow. Oh yeah. If they're staying on you, they don't think you're a lost cause.
Yeah.
That's key.
Yeah.
So coaching and mentoring is such a huge part from what I'm hearing from you guys, and just I firmly believe and agree.
Yeah.
I mean, Dayday, do you have a piece of advice that you feel like has stuck in your mind from either a current coach or a current mentor, maybe from Seacoast or anything like that, that has maybe influenced you to help you to be where you are today?
Yeah, it's like I've always been taught, like, nothing's gonna be given to you. You have to go out and get it. So like, if you want to go play ball, go out and go play ball. Like, if you want to be successful in life, go be successful. Like, like being around Seacoast people and of course family in general, because everybody's family in my eyes. They taught me a lot how to stay on top of everything, how to don't let nobody bring you down, and how like to stay focused. And when you stay focused, man, anything is possible. They always sit there and tell you that nothing's possible, but you put your mind to it, everything is always possible. So that's what I go by every day: morning, breakfast, and lunch. So yeah.
No dinner though?
No dinner.
Okay.
I don't really eat too much. That's why I'm scrawny
I was about
now.
to say, well, you got to get to college and get that weight up.
I know, man. I get it a lot. I don't really eat.
That helps you levitate more whenever, you don't have 20 pounds of whatever you got to jump up with.
Yeah, I don't really eat a lot. It's too much right now.
That straw muscle.
That college food will be good for you. You're going to need to eat as much as y'all work out.
That college life, man. I don't know if you're aware of this, but it's pretty much all you can eat every meal.
Nah, I heard something like that.
That's why they call it the freshman 15. Watch out.
He'll be working out. He'll be good.
Yeah, but you'll be working. You'll need to eat all you can eat.
Yeah.
Athletes usually get a special area to eat too, at least from what I've seen. Either a special cafeteria or a special menu or something.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to. I didn't really have that to look forward to at all.
Sound like you want to go back to college.
I do not.
Oh, man.
No. What I'm referring to is kind of spring break time right now. What I'm referring to is when I went to visit Clemson on spring break, and I'd hear them complaining about their food, and I'm here at the Citadel eating like military meals.
Exactly.
I'm like,
Really
what you
fast.
consider not food, this is the best food I've had all year.
Yeah. Yep. People don't
So,
people don't realize how good they got it. Sometimes take it for granted.
Yeah, so hopefully you'll be eating right. If not, you'll figure out how. I had to pack cereal in my room to try to stay
It's a tough
nourished.
life. The barracks.
Try to stay nourished. One time they found it too.
Oh.
And then they opened the door. They were like, Taylor, what is that? You've got like 6 months worth of cereal. And then they go, I'm going to go tell everybody.
Wow.
And they just leave. And then I go run and throw it out the window.
Yeah. Wow.
I thought they were going to make me eat all of it at once. They have a tendency to make you do strange things like that.
Well,
yeah. Citadel's a great school, though.
It is. Of course. Great school.
Yeah. It really goes back to the people, though. Are the people there to encourage you?
Yeah.
Citadel's got a fine line there.
Yeah.
But are they trying to build you up?
Or break you down.
Or
and
break you down.
drop out.
Or again, fine line there. Again, what is their intent? If someone's yelling at you, are they yelling at you because they don't like you? Or are they yelling at you because they care about you?
Yeah.
Huge distinction. Well, Dayday, let me ask you this then. Let's say you got hired to be a coach tomorrow of, high school team or whatever. From your experiences and being successful in basketball, leading to greater opportunities, what are some of those things if you got just a team of really malleable young men? What are some of those things you might focus on? Maybe basketball related, but also maybe in other ways.
I'll say with education wise, like if I can honestly go, if I coached a team, I'll focus on education more than hooping.
And what do you mean? The academics?
Yeah, the academics is more than playing ball because it's student and then athlete. Yeah. You can't put athlete and then students. You don't work like that. If you ain't got the grades, then you can't play on the court. Mm-hmm. So I look at it as in good grades, you get to play. And I probably want my team to be the greatest. So you have to have all A's.
The GOATs. Would your mascot be the GOATs? What would your mascot be?
It'll be the GOAT because we will be the GOAT.
Yes. The greatest of all time.
Greatest of all times, man.
That would be cool if there was a high school. Hey, I'm the North Charleston Goats. Boy, what, y'all the GOATs?
The GOATs.
Greatest of all time.
And then they players, and then even the while we the GOATs.
Yeah.
There's got to be a team with the GOATs somewhere.
It's got to be.
Someone.
My middle school was the Rams.
Someone's
That's close.
Yeah.
They could rename it and change the. Keep the symbol.
Take the horns off. The GOATs.
Be the GOATs.
But yeah, that's technically
student and athlete. You said that perfectly. That's cool. Like as a 12th grader, that you're really understanding that. Like you have to put student before athlete.
You have to,
because if you don't, then you're not even going to have the opportunity to play on the court, like you said.
Like, and then some coaches will let you have a leeway. Okay, if you ain't got the grades. Mm-hmm. Then we'll start you play more with us. But then it's like it'll come around and bite you in the butt when you really want to do something good. So you want to go to college, you're going to be upset because now you got to get red flagged because you have to get your grades up.
Absolutely.
So that's what I know I'm going to face sooner or later. I'm just waiting for it to hit me. But yeah, like if I would have came in and sat there and did my work and not goofed off and not had a, let's say the discipline, because I wasn't really disciplined how I am now. I think I could have went to Duke.
Hey, I hear it.
But
it's always maybe transfer.
That's a hard school to get into academically too.
Yeah, very hard. But
that'd be incredible.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the grades.
Yeah.
I took 12th grade year just to finally realize, oh man, this is my last time ever hooping or playing basketball in high school again.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I waited so long. That's not a good idea.
Well, that's good. That's really good advice. I think it's really important. You, like I said, talking about the people that are around you. As a coach, I think it's like coaches, especially the coaches that I've had in this area, have gotten caught up in just wanting to win, and then when it gets time for your athletes to graduate, you're scrambling to get them extra work because they want to get to a certain school or they want to even just graduate. So I think it's really important to like really care about your kids on the court, but it's just as important off the court.
Oh yeah.
Really, I mean, if you're a coach in high school athletics or middle school, elementary, it's about development. You're not
Right.
I mean, your wins and losses are going to, determine how good you are as a coach. But really, if you're putting your kids in college, boys or girls, obviously I coach boys, but if you're putting your young men in college and they're successful down the road, that's way more important than winning the state championship.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a life championship.
It's a life championship.
I heard it explained this way that resonated with me, in that life is a series of games.
Yeah.
And so basketball is just one game. Being able to keep a positive attitude when you have adversity, that's kind of like another game. Being able to lose respectfully and be a good sport about it, that's another game. And so I heard it this way, that you're not just trying to be good at one game, but you're trying to develop your ability to win at all the games, because life is just a series of different games.
Game of life.
Game of life.
I really appreciated that
That's
sort
awesome.
of view of it.
Yeah.
Because you can be a great basketball player, but if you're a poor sport, if you're then trying to get hired and people recognize you have a bad attitude, they're not going to care if you're a great basketball player.
Well, that's why I think team sports, and obviously we work through basketball, you work through football. I think team sports are so important because the life lessons that you learn from them, like it's incredible. Like working with a team, being a leader, battling through adversity. Like you learn all of those things through sport. So I think it's so important to really embrace that. And like you said, if you had a team, you'd want them to be really good students. If I had a team, I'd want them to be great students and great people, because that's going to go beyond. I mean, I might have a team of 10 kids, and I mean, you're probably one of the only kids from your senior class that is getting recruited. Those other kids that you might be, seniors with might not have the same opportunity, but if they learn how to be great people, if they learn how to work hard, that's stuff that's going to translate to when they're in their working jobs. So I think it's really, that's why I love sport. I love it, and I think it's really important for coaches to, ingrain that in their kids.
Yeah. It's a great attitude as a coach too. So I don't know if you're an aspiring head coach at some point.
Oh yeah,
but,
I want to be a leader.
I hope that happens for you,
yeah,
man. Because it's, again, you may not be the best dribbler if you're a coach or whatever, the best shooter.
Yeah.
You may not even know how to be the best shooter, but if you know how to develop people, that's really what your job is there.
It's all
for.
about. It's all about
That's all it takes to
impact, man. That's why I was in college athletics for the last 4 years, and I knew that I wanted to impact the next generation, like my coaches did when I was coming up. It's so important to have good people around to kind of build a culture.
Yeah.
So that's like really why I'm so into it. Help kids like Dayday.
Yeah, that's it. Well, as we just begin to wind down, final question maybe, if you have a final question for Dayday, I'll kind of give a final question, and then we'll just close out with where people can find you and all that. So, I mean, do you want to go first if you have a question in mind?
I don't really have a question. I mean, just like some advice. Obviously, you have been around great people at Seacoast and stuff like that. I mean, I would really just say, I brought my Bible. Some of my favorite verses. I look to the hills from which cometh my help coming from the Lord. So always really try to surround yourself with, positive people, like I said, and realize that there's a greater strength. There's great people that are looking over you. Your Heavenly Father loves you, and He's always looking out for you. So just always stay positive. Joy, you might have a tough day, but the next morning it'll be great. So that's really, I don't really have a question, but just some advice from the heart.
I feel like.
Yeah. And I'll just kind of give my final question just to maybe wrap up sort of your message, and that what is sort of your central message based on where you are now that you would like to give to those that are, around your age? Is it anyone can play basketball in college? Is it you can do anything you want in life? Kind of what is that core sort of message that you'd like to give?
I'll give like if you want it, just do it. Like, cause nobody's gonna give you anything. I've been taught like that my whole life since I've been young, growing up in a little hood of Lincoln. So like, if you want it, go get it, man. Like, anybody gonna give you nothing. Like, strive. Of course, have God in your corner, because you have Him. Anything is possible, and I mean anything. And our generation is like, it's coming down. You need to bring it back up. You know what I'm saying? With all the emotions going around of us dying before the age of 21, and us not seeing college life because you choosing the wrong path to go through just because you're trying to impress friends and all that. It's not really good to have in your corner at all. Like, you want to be able to like set your own goals, set your own path. And of course, just let God have you. Like, if you just trust Him, I believe anything and everything is possible, of course. Perfect. So that's what I go by as, man, because I came from nothing, man. Yeah. Like, I'm talking about when I first came down to Charleston, I came with a book bag, a ripped up tank top, some red jogger pants, and my white sneakers. That's why I like white so much. Yeah. Like, I always buy white sneakers. I don't know why. But yeah, I came in that, and a garbage bag, like 2 garbage bags, like the one that you use for like to throw trash cans and stuff away. And I came on a bus, a $70 bus with a blue phone. So, I mean, my situation.
This was when you were going into 9th grade?
This is when I was going into the 9th grade, man. And then it was an eye opener for me. Even though I knew half of the stuff I was doing wasn't like God approval. Let's put it like that. Yeah. God approval. I was still doing them, knowing I was in the wrong. So, I mean, it took me a while to understand, like, hey, when I'm done with high school or college, life gonna hit me hard. So it's either like hop on the train or let that train where I pass. And I was like, I can't let that happen. So when I came down here, I was living with my cousin, and of course he was a alcoholic, as you would say, and stuff like that. So it was hard for me to find a good role model at first, because I didn't have anybody. I'm down here by myself. I'm the only family member of mine that I know that's down here. So, he was an alcoholic, stayed up till like 2 o'clock while I had school the next day, and he would sit in front of the radio doing this. I'm like, come on, man, you supposed to be setting an example for me. You over here being out all night to the day and not coming back home. So of course, when you young, you worried about him. Yeah. So it was like, it was crazy. And then all I know is 2 months later, a month later, he left a note on the door saying that you don't want to be here, you ain't got to be here. So technically he kicked me out. But I think the only reason why he kicked me out is because we couldn't afford the rent that was there. I mean, we lived on Remount. You used to, you used to drop me off
several times.
So you know how it looked. It ain't look a pretty place to live, So so I got a note on the door saying, hey, just leave. You don't want to be here. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. Came to school the next day, and I told Coach Pearson I used to have temper tantrums. Like, my temper was very bad. Like, I used to get upset. I used to curse at teachers, like, because I ain't have the right guide, as you would say. Yeah. So I used to terrible. Like, I was bad. I was a bad little kid. But everybody knew my situation or where I came from. How my mom didn't care about me at all. How I don't know my dad and whatnot. And like, I was like the only child. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the only child, but I was like the only kid that was all out there. So, when I came in, I met Coach T from Seacoast, of course, and he fed me food and stuff. Cause I was real skinny. You think this is skinny? I was real skinny. Yeah, I was like at least 110, and I didn't think that was even possible. Yeah, you would have thought I was a skeleton.
110, and what are you, like 6'2"?
I'm 6'6", and I weigh like 195 now. Yeah. So like, that's a big booster up. Yeah. So, I went to school with the same clothes and stuff like that. I mean, no deodorant, so I stink, and everybody just bullied me. Like, I've been bullied since I was like, elementary school. So it took like 9th grade year when I came down here for me to stop getting bullied. Yeah. But even then, so I'll still get like, who that? Because, coming to school with the same clothes on, you're not going to really like get a lot of friends, And you got to watch who you call your friends too, because your friends will be your enemy that you at least suspected. So like, if you want to be great, man, you got to like choose your friends wisely. they always sit there and tell you like, oh, watch your enemy closer and whatnot. But no, like you ain't really got to worry about your enemy because he ain't really worried about you as much as you worried about him. But your friends, the one you hang around with, they really not your enemy, but your enemy. You know what I'm saying? Because they got the power, like I said, to curse you and to positive you. Because you know, you had that friend that sit there and tell you, you're not going to do this or this, what you going to believe? At a young age, you're going to sit there and be like, you right, I can't do that, bro. And, you know, it be the one that be like, hey, bro, you can do this. You can go to college. You can be anything you want to be as long as you put your mind to it. So, like, when I came down here, man, I didn't have that at all. Like, I didn't have that in New York neither. I mean, I was bad. I was bad in New York, too. I mean, of course, I didn't have the right guide at all. You know, I grew up with, like, four of my siblings, and both of them was girls and another twin of mine. So we was the only ones in the house wasn't getting nothing. So it'll be Christmas time. I didn't see nothing for Christmas at all. So like I don't like Mother's Day. Like I hate Mother's Day because, you know, I never really had a mom. So every time Mother's Day come around, I'd be like, oh, I don't care. Like you can get that on my face. But now, like I truly see how a mother feels because I have Miss Melissa. And like she's like a real mother towards me, or she is my mom now. You can say. So and now I have a father figure, which is Coach T, of course, because he showed me the way of like this is how you do things. Because I'm not gonna lie, I used to be a quitter. I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to be straight up quitter. Every single time something got hard, bye Felicia, I'm not doing that.
Well, look how far you've come.
And I came like everybody sit there and tell you I came real far from like the attitude to my body language to the way I talk to people, because you can sit there and have a conversation with me, and I just be like, get out my face, like straight like that. But now I can sit there and have a decent conversation without getting upset or something like that. And, you know, it all boils down to the people you hang around with, and I ain't have that. So I used to go in the office right here, and I used to just curse at the guidance counselor, like at Canal and stuff like that. I used to curse at him like, you don't know what I've been through. I've been shot at and all that. You never been through none of that, have you? And he'd be like, Dayday, just let it all out. And I'm like, what? Let it all out. And I used to just let it rip. And I used to turn that whole office upside down. And then he'd be like, you done now? I was like, yeah, I'm done. And he was like, listen, life is going to be hard. They going to throw fire at you. They going to do all that at you. But you can't let it knock you down. You got to get back up and fight back with fire. So if you don't do that, man, if you just sit there and lay down, what's the point of living? You here for a reason. God, you didn't come out your mom for no reason. Everything's for a reason. God didn't make you to just, you feel me, to sit there and do nothing with your life. So I had to realize that, like, all right, this man is right. And even if so, like all the talks, all the motivation, I still wasn't listening. Like it took like me to come down to like Mount Pleasant campus for Reggie Dabb to sit there and talk to me, or Pastor John Holmes to talk to me, be like, Dayday, you got to start living right, and da-da-da. And I'm like, you know what? All right, now I got the adults behind my back telling me I got to live right now. Because if you was in my situation, you wouldn't last a day, and you wouldn't even last a minute in my shoes of what I had to go through. I'm talking about, like, when I was in New York, I used to live in New York. So, you know, we known for big rats and stuff like that, you know. So, you know, I came from an apartment, and it was like, all jacked up. The only thing that was in my refrigerator was a wine bottle and jelly. For your bread.
Someone doing Jello shots or something? Oh, jelly, not Jello. Gotcha.
Yeah, jelly and stuff.
No one
like
would
that.
ever do Jello shots.
Nope.
Those are bad.
Man, well, it's a blessing that you've come so far. I think it's important for you to never get complacent, because you know how far you've made it, but your journey's not over.
It's truly not.
You got the best is yet to come. I think it's a big saying. So I think it's pretty cool that you've realized how far you've come, but realize that you've got so much more left ahead of you.
And then that's what I'm thinking. That's what I think I'm waiting on. I think I'm waiting on like a big old blessing. You know?
It's coming.
Like
Keep
I know
working. You gotta work for it.
I know it's like, you know, you never just wait for something. Like it's coming. Like you know it's coming. Especially when you're doing all the right moves. It's like a game of chess. You gotta protect the king, and I'm technically the king. So I'm trying to use all my pawn pieces to, like, you know, hold me back from doing anything dumb or going down the wrong path. So my thing is, like, man, you just gotta be great, man. If you don't wanna go down that wrong path, man. Because I lost too many people. And that's with more than 2 O's. Like
that's two O's smooth.
It's 2 O's. 2 O's.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's big time for you to realize that in such a young age. We're young still, but that's some wisdom right there you dropped. That's good.
Something like that.
Yeah, you mentioned kind of waiting a little bit. There's also a difference between preparing and waiting. And I'd say you're preparing for a greater blessing,
Yeah.
Waiting on the sidelines, that doesn't help anything.
Yeah,
but if you're preparing yourself,
Absolutely.
preparing your mind, developing yourself, trying to improve your life situation, then good things will happen, like you mentioned,
Yep.
And I mean, just because I know you personally and I know this community just a little bit, but I'm not a part of the North Charleston community. I just got to serve a little bit with Dream Center. I think there's a lot of potential, guys there's so many guys in your shoes. I think you'd agree. Not in your shoe today, but who came from similar circumstances and serving at the Dream Center. I mean, to be honest, the guys that are your age at the Dream Center and whatnot, they're some of the most respectful guys, kids, and they have so much to give. So it's
right
go ahead.
Right there was like, that's where everybody get it messed up. They might look at you and be like, hey, what's up, Mr. Kyle? Might talk respectfully and But like when he go home, or when that one dude go home, what you think he actually doing? He's living wrong.
Yeah.
But he wants you to think that he's living right, but he's actually living terribly wrong. But you won't know that because why? Because he's holding it in and he won't tell you what's going on. And that was me. I wouldn't say nothing. I was just that one little quiet kid who didn't talk but had a mouth on me.
Yeah.
So like that's how it is. So I might come to you and be like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And that's what some kids get it messed up and wrong. Like, bro, if you need help, man, you need to speak. Like, you need to ask. Like, don't hold that in.
Absolutely.
Because March been a bad month for me. Like, it doesn't it's like I was going through a crisis, but I'm not. It's just like been a bad month. Like, I just lost one of my friends, and I got into 2 altercations out of my 4 years I've been here, and they weren't even physical fights. They were just like outbursts, like on my own friends and stuff like that. And it was just one dude that was in the hallway, and he was just like doing bang bang with a little whatever you want to do, and I got upset. Like I just snapped, and I grabbed him up and like, hey, yo, don't ever do that, bro. Like I don't know. I was like giving him wisdom while I was mad.
Righteous anger is the appropriate term.
Yes, like I don't know. Like I was like, man, you don't need to do that. Like too many of us dying.
Yeah.
Don't ever point a gun at somebody because you lucky it's me, not somebody else. And I'm just sitting there and I'm still angry, but still talking wisdom. So I'm like, okay, let me just. So gladly somebody was there to back me up.
Yeah.
So I said, you need to go out there and go win the game after I did all that. And then I got into another altercation and I just flipped. And I was like, you know what? I really need help. Like I told Coach T, I said, I need guidance. Like I need like anger management class. Like I'm really, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of stuff goes on in our heads that we tend to hold in because we don't know how to handle it. And your best bet is don't hold it in.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't work like that, man. Like you gotta want help. Like you gotta want to be great. You gotta
want it.
That's the main key. You gotta want it.
That's one of my sayings. You gotta want it.
You gotta want it.
People can't want it for you.
But like you said, it's you gotta want it, but you have to understand. I think another big saying that's very popular right now is you can't do life alone.
No.
Yeah.
You can't do life alone. Like you gotta understand that there's people around you that might not have been in the exact situation that you've been in, but they've been in situations that they can, kind of take themselves out of your situation and understand what you've been through, and kind of, be able to guide you. So it's really important that you realize that you might be in a tough situation, but you cannot get out of it by yourself. Like I said, you've got God in your corner. You've got other people around you that can uplift you, but you cannot do it alone. This life was not meant to walk this journey, walk this path alone.
Because in reality, this earth is really to break you and see how strong you are. It's not really to just let you down the lane.
Exactly.
Like it's going to hit you with some hard drink. You got to be ready for it.
Yeah.
You either going to sit there and fall, or you going to get back up. The choice is yours, man. But I say get back up and you fight it with fire.
Yeah.
Because you let that thing just go. It's going to burn you. It's going to burn you hard. It's going to leave a stain. And you're going to be like, man, I wish I would have did this and this. Because now I might be young, but I think about it. I wish I can go back. You know what I'm saying? I wish I can go back and like redid everything I did.
Yeah.
Because, if
you wouldn't be in the position you are now, though, either,
Yeah, and that's it. Think about it. But, like, if I was in 9th grade year and I would just actually calm down and let everybody, like, love me technically, because I didn't have that. Like, I didn't know what love was. So, like, at one point. Like I didn't, and I lost a lot of people, like females, friends, boys, girls. Don't matter what it is. I lost a lot. Even half of my girlfriends are gone because I didn't love them the right way. So
Half the girlfriends.
yeah, listen.
I heard. Did you hear that?
Hey.
Half his girlfriends.
I'm not gonna. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Went from 6 to 3.
No,
Jeez.
listen. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like that's what I did. Like I tried to I pushed people away. And try to bring back something that wasn't actually there. So it only messed me up more because it only messed me up more now because it's like, dang, I really messed up something I really could have had. And it messed them up too because now they don't know what love is because I dragged them. I played games and I dragged them along with me because I didn't know what it was. So I brought them down with me. And I wish I could change that, but I can't. All I can do is next time I have one, I have to make sure.
Improve the next experience.
Absolutely.
And it was bad, man, because it was just like, bro, like, I don't know what love is. So it's like, can I actually say I love you without, you know what I'm saying?
That being a lie.
Hey, well, maybe this would be my last question then. How would you describe what love is?
Oh, love? I know what love is now.
How would you describe it?
Love is being there for somebody. Love is like not just talking about it, but putting it into action. So if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it not because I want to, but because I love you and I know it's going to better you. So if you need my help, I'm going to be there. If you want me to support you, I'm going to do it. Not because I want to, but because I love you and I know you want to do it. So like when I realized that what love was and more to it, I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, all right, now I got this now, man. So now like I love everybody. I don't dislike nobody. So like if you have problems with me, I don't have a problem with you. Like, you can have a problem with me, but I'm going to try to talk to you about it. I'm not going to try to fight fire with fire.
Exactly.
Because that's our problem to this generation. We always trying to fight fire with fire. And what it leads? A funeral. You don't want to do that. Because I'm not trying to visit you and you ain't trying to visit me. So let's just live life and do what we got to do to be great and to change the world. That's what honestly I want to do. I want to change the world either through basketball, even preaching, doing things like this. Like, it's anything to get to the community because, you know, it's too many of us going down, man, and there's no need for it. Like, you got to live smart, not dumb. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when I mean, like, I'm in some of these kids' shoes. I'm probably in all these kids' shoes. Like, when the kids say, oh, Mom, why you get this for me for Xbox and this for Christmas? I'm like, young buck, man. Ain't no way you sitting there.
They're complaining about what they got for their Xbox.
I'm like, you know what I got for Christmas? Let me tell you what I got. Nothing. I ain't get Jack Diddley squat. Like it was Merry Christmas Day and it was snow. That was it. Like I didn't get nothing. But then you'll see my sisters and them in the room. I got this and this. I'm like, you better be grateful for what you got because we ain't getting nothing. And I guess it was that terminology and that's probably why I didn't like females. Like I didn't like females like women. I didn't like them because I'm like, my mom always showing favoritism to the girls. But like when it came to the boys, it was like, I ain't care about them. They grown men. Leave them alone. So, and that's what it was. When I first moved into Coach T house, it was Miss Melissa, and I used to just stare at her like this. I just used to look at her, and I wouldn't even say nothing. And she'll walk in the door, and she'll tell Coach T, like, man, I don't think Dayday likes me. I was like, you're right, I don't, because you're a woman. And then I had that talk with Coach T, and he was like, you know, you got to respect her because that's not your mom, but she's trying to be your mom. You got to let her love you. And that's all it is, man. You got to let someone love you, man, because if you don't, you're just going to dig yourself a hole. And, like, where I came from New York. So it was like, it's a big difference when you come to Charleston because everything is slow.
New York and Charleston, man, way different. For sure, way different.
It's real slow. And like I said, man, I raised my sisters, like, you know what I'm saying? I raised all three of them from waking up like at 6 o'clock in the morning to like getting all three of them dressed, making sure they go to school, to dropping my little one off to her pop's house. It was like, and then I had to go to school. So it was like, it was a lot, man. And then where I grew up at, it was like drugs was like the community. Like, if the money was flowing in just by weed and stuff like that. So I try my best to, you know, not do none of that. Of course, never smoke, never drink. That's never touched my lungs at all. But I probably did sell this and this for my family or for my sisters because I knew they was hungry and there was nothing in the house. And of course, you don't want to do those things, but you know, like, hey, yo, you got to because there ain't nothing left and you can't get a job. I'm like, I'm 13. Who finna give me a job at 13? Nobody. So it was like, either like keep doing what I'm doing or because you know sooner or later you get the shiver that you about to get caught because you know you can't do nothing illegal and think you're not gonna get caught. You gonna get caught. Luckily I didn't get caught And luckily I stopped, and then I started like working like at the flower place and stuff like that. But I was like getting like $2. I was getting $2, so that wasn't nice. I was saving it, and I used to give it to my sisters like, hey, I gotta do something with this. So you know, I grew up, it was just straight gangbangers. Like either you was a blood, or you was this, or you was that. And I tried very hard not to like get into things like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard, man. Like it's really hard. Like when you, like I say, like your friends determine you. Like when you around that negativity, bro. Like it really like. Man, they don't want to be just like them, man. Like I'm trying to da-da-da. I'm like, and you like, you gotta tell yourself no, like that's not the right path to go. Like you gotta make your own path, set your own goals. Cause if you don't, man, you just gonna lay down, and you don't want that to happen, man. So it was like, but me, I got at the wrong time, man. So at that young age, I was hanging around them. I used to be like in their house and like just like not smoking, but like sniffing it like I'm smoking it or something like that. And while he's doing music and stuff like that, I'm up all kinds of late of the hour, like 4 o'clock and stuff like that. I'm just sitting and just, like I ain't got nothing to do. Like I ain't got school the next morning. Like I still gotta wake up. And sometimes, you know, I used to skip school too. I used to skip school. I used to like run around the hallways. I used to get in trouble. I threw a desk at a teacher one time too, because she got on my nerves. And I was like, I told her like, man, don't do that. Get away from me. Get away from me. She wouldn't leave me alone. Threw the desk at her, and then got into altercations, got suspended. Like I lied about a lot of things that was real dumb. Lying ain't the best answer neither, man. Like I feel like now you should just be truthful on anything you about to say, because ain't no point of lying. I can't lie to Coach T, you know. Like if I think about it, I'd be like, hey, yo, Coach, man, I ain't go play basketball, man. He like, boy, yes you did. You should went to go play basketball. Or like, Coach, I went to work, and he knows I didn't go to work. Like for some odd reason, he knows what I'm doing. I don't know how.
That's that love taking over. You love that, man. You can't.
We might have an underground system of communication that people don't know about.
Like for real, like it's hard, man. Like you can't. So I don't lie, man. I just tell them straight up.
I'll set a reminder for myself too to text you to do well on the ACT next week.
I know I'm gonna do well on that.
Dayday was like, how'd you know I'm taking ACT next week?
See? And I'll be surprised,
I know things.
So
that's cool, man.
It's better to like just be honest, man, because honesty will get you a long way than you living a lie. You never want to live a lie.
It's hard to keep up with.
It's hard to keep up with. And you know, once you start lying, you feel like, oh, I ain't get caught the first time. Let me do it again. Let me do it again. Let me do it again, until it all crumbles down, and sooner or later you're caught. And what you gonna say then? Oh, I didn't mean. No, that's not gonna work, Papa. You gonna have to just sit there and take that consequence like a man. And that's how it was. Like, you know, I lied to my peoples a lot. And it was one time where I thought I was doing the right thing. I sold water. You know, when you in New York, man, I don't know if y'all ever been up to New York, but like we used to sell water on the corner. But where I'm from, it's really drug sales on the corner. But I was actually selling water. I mean, I did sell drugs, but I was selling water at the time. Okay.
Right.
But of course, once you have that reputation of you doing that, everybody thinks you're selling that, but you're really not. So I was selling water. I made like $100 and something. And I went back home and I told my mom, like, hey, yo, Ma, I got $100 and something, man. And she was like, where you get it from? I was like, I was selling water. And then here we go, and my step pops come in the room, start beating on me like, what you was doing? Boom, 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 just straight knocking me out and stuff like that. And there's one time where he choked me and stuff like that, and I just passed out. I don't know if you got choked to death or you just passed out. That was me. And then I woke up like, hey, what happened? And I still got my money in my hand, like, hey, yo. And it was like, man, give me that. So they took everything I earned, and I was like, oh, wow. And I got kicked in my room. And then there'd been some nights where, like, I couldn't even eat. Like, it'd been some nights where, like, she'd make dinner, and she'll say, I have to go to sleep without eating. So, like, it was like when some of these kids be like, hey, my mom do me dirty. No, your mom not doing you dirty. She treating you with love, bro, because, honestly, you don't have to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't. Like, so if you gonna sit there and smoke weed, skip school, and do all that, what you living for, bro? Like, it's always a matter of time before you realize you getting older. It's time to stop playing around. Because like I said, when you done with high school and college, boy, life gonna hit you so hard in the face, it's gonna hurt more than a gun wound. Like, it's gonna hurt more than that. I be trying to tell people, like, tell kids like that. That's why when I'm at Seacoast, and I be realizing a lot of kids look up to me, I be like, bro, I don't even know you. How you know me? Like, it be like that for real. Like, they be like, and I be like,
you're basically a pro athlete. You're basically a full scale adult to a lot of those, especially middle schoolers, but even high schoolers as well. I mean, being a senior versus being a freshman or something, I mean, that's a big deal. So you got to steward that well. Those are in your position. You got to steward that well. Once you go to college, I mean, you might have seniors, where you are now. A year from now, you'll have seniors possibly more than likely looking up to where you are. So you got to steward that well, man. It sounds like you're doing a great job.
Yeah,
I really appreciate you just sharing a little bit of your life experience, because no one has your exact experience.
Exactly.
I mean, people can walk in your shoes a little bit and vice versa. But we all have different experiences, and that helps make who we are. So I don't have a lot of those experiences. So I appreciate you sharing those things.
Absolutely.
And then it helps from what I'm hearing. It's a message of appreciation as well, to appreciate where you've come from and what you no longer have to put up with. And, I want to encourage you. The bigger picture is your decisions and where you're going right now will help to change that story, so that ideally your future family and other generations won't have to deal with, a parent or whatever making you black out, and that sort of things, because that's frankly inexcusable. I don't care what you might have done.
Exactly.
And there's a saying too, that he who has been forgiven much loves much, and no matter where you've come from.
And of course, you got to keep God right there too, man. Like, that's your number one priority. Of course, you got family and friends, but God got to be number one, because God know you more than you know yourself. So that's how you got to think about it. Like, it's hard, man. Like, I know this probably never happened, but like, how you ever been shot at before? Like, you ever had that adrenaline before? Like, never been in paintball guns before like that? But like, I actually been shot at before.
Laser tag.
Yeah.
I mean, that counts too. I mean, if you want to count that. But yeah, I've been shot at before.
For sure.
Like, I was in a park, and then I guess it was like a barbecue or whatnot. And I have an older brother who's like a big breath, what you want to call him, in the hood or whatnot. And I guess they ran up in a park where I had my little sister and stuff like that. And I had to put her inside the house thingy. Like, it's like this little pool thing in the hood. And then you put them to like a little townhouse. Let's call them that, like a little townhouse. So I had to give her to like one of my lifeguards, because I was cool. One of the lifeguards had to hold them there and to come out and to like get other kids that was around that area to get them inside the house too. And as soon as I turned around, all I heard was fa fa fa, and I started taking off, and it's for me. I'm like, oh man. So I started taking off, trying to go around. Probably wasn't a best smart idea, but that's what happened when you got that adrenaline going. And they still chasing me down the block, still shooting, and I'm like, all right, man, my life is about to be taken from me right now. So I'm still running down the block or whatnot. They still firing. Sooner or later, I guess I hop away or whatnot and start running away even further where I can't see them, they can't see me. I'm assuming because it stopped. And then I go back inside the park, and my sister's fine. I mean, she starts crying and stuff like that. Of course, you start crying too, because you're like, hey, man, why is God doing this to me? Like, why me? Like, you put me through all this and da-da-da-da. Like, and you sitting there like, everything happened for a reason. That's how I take everything. Like, everything happened for a reason.
You create the narrative.
Yeah.
You're in charge.
Exactly. So I grabbed my sister, told her I loved her, and took her to the house. And then, like, ever since that day, I look at life differently and stuff like that. So, I mean, I ran away from home and stuff like that, and it probably wasn't a smart choice, because my mom, she wrote up, like, she kicked me out the house, but then she wrote it up as a missing person as I ran away. So then now I have police and stuff looking for me and all that. So while I'm in some girl house, which I shouldn't have been, don't ever do that. While I'm in some girl house, there's flyers of me around the neighborhood saying missing. Like, have it even been 24 hours yet? So she has people looking for me and stuff like that. So I'm putting on clothes and stuff like that. Like, I'm putting on like some tight up clothes, and it's the summertime. So when it's in New York, it gets hot. So it's like 80 something degrees, and then stuff like that. And I'm putting on some like khaki pants, some shriveled up sweater and stuff like that, mad tight. And I start walking downstairs, and police said, I'm like, there he is. And instead of me just like, hey, yo, man, I give up, I'm done, I take off. Like, I'm scared. I just go right up the block and go all the way to 125th, just booging it down there, all the way to Riverbank. Won't stop running. And then I did all that just to come back down, just to hear that my brother and my mom, everybody in the hood goes into that park, and start pressing on everybody saying, hey, yo, where my brother at? If you don't tell me, I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you, and I'm going to shoot you too if you don't talk where he's at. So now I'm putting people's life in danger because I won't come out the closet or I won't come out where I'm from and stuff like that to be found because, of course, they put me as missing. So I was like, okay, let me just stop this. I ran back down there, and I had to talk with one of my brother's friends, and he was like, hey, yo, bro, you got to listen. Life ain't going to teach you right. You gotta do what's right. If you know what you're doing is wrong, and you feel like you're doing is wrong, that means you gotta change. Yeah. Like you gotta change what you're doing because what you're doing right now is not right. And he was saying that, he was like, I know your mom did you dirty. I know she don't care about you. I know she said she don't love you. I know this and that. And I was like, he was like, you just gotta live with it, bro. Like you can't pick your family. Once your family's given to you, that's your family for life. Yeah. So that's how I took it as. Like when I came down here, my mom told everybody I was dead. Yeah, she was like, who did? Yeah, my son is gone. I'm like, all right, where's the funeral ticket at then? And nobody got that. So I was like, wow, you gonna tell the family I'm gone? That's how it is. That's how serious it is, huh? Man, it was like that, man. So I encourage like all the little people, man, y'all gotta just stay focused, stay on top of your grades, cause like I came down here like with a 1.2. And now I got like a 2 point something now, 2.1 or something like that, which is good enough to go into a 4-year college now. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're already doing good, of course, keep doing good. Yeah. But like if you want that path of destruction, bro, you need to get off it because it ain't right. Yeah. Like it ain't right at all, man.
Surround yourself with some good people, and you got to do it. You got to want it.
Yeah.
Gotta want it, because you know what, Mr. Cal? You're going to have another dude who just like me sitting in the same seat, and he going to ask, who was that kid on the last podcast?
Exactly.
Like, it was Dayday. Yeah. Because when I went to summer camp, man, that was a good experience. I advise all people to go there, man, because when I went there, bro, it was fun.
You're talking about the Seacoast Church summer
camp?
Yep.
It was awesome. It was awesome, like sitting there and just feeling the praise of God and like understanding little people. Cause you know, to me, I feel like everybody's short. Like I feel like
thanks, dude.
No offense. I feel like everybody's short. Like in my eyes. I mean, when you 6'6", I feel like everybody's short. So when I was at summer camp, everybody's staring at me like I'm somebody like amazing or something like that. So I'm like, oh, what's up, man? He was like, bro, how tall are you, bro? Can I see your chain? Can I see that? I'm like, bro. I'm like, I got a kind of even know you, bro. Yeah. And then it took a little minute, like, all right, I guess he's just trying to be cool with me. So let me chill out. So I'm like, I was like, hey, man, he could see this. And then we have a little conversation. Yeah. And like some of these kids would sit there and tell me how life is treating them. And I was like, you like to live, right? I said, you like to live, right? You want to live for the better, right? And for the good, right? You're trying to change the world, right? You got to do the right things, bro. And he was like, man, I know, but like it just keep hitting me, man. My mom don't care about me and stuff like that. I was like, bro, why your mom don't care about you? She was like, because she always motivate me to do the bad things and stuff like that. I'm like, your mama don't do that, bro. You probably taking it the wrong way. And she wants you to do bad, but she don't want you to do bad. She's trying to set you up for, of course, the greatness. Like great. That's how I look at things. I want them to be great. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? So when I sit there and hear stories like that about how my friends can influence me on doing bad things, I'm like, bro, move away from them. You know, if one bad apple spoils rotten apples, like you just got to dip off, bro. Like it's not with it. So then when I went there and stuff like that, started talking to them and whatnot, and then we started playing games and stuff, right? And I don't know how I got known. I swear I don't know how I got known. Next thing you know, they're like, Dayday, I want you to be the captain. I'm like, and then me and this girl were like, and there was another girl who wanted to be captain of the team too. And it was like, no, we don't want her. We want you, Dayday. I'm like, listen, man, it don't matter, bro. Just a game. Just have her be the captain. And then everybody was like, oh, come on, Dayday, man. I was like, listen, bro, it's all right, man. I'll do it next time. So it was cool to see how people knew who I was, knowing I didn't know who they was. So it was like,
gotta realize people are always looking up.
Somebody's always that's what made me realize.
Somebody's
always watching.
Yeah, your reputation is one of your most appreciated assets. You gotta watch out for. Well, Dayday, man, you love your story, love your encouragement, love your relatability. I believe you're gonna be able to encourage so many more people. I believe, echoing Ishmael, that you got really great things ahead of you. So long as you do stay on that right path, which I believe you are. You know, allow people to contribute to your success, knowing that you still own your success, but people will contribute along the way as long as you let them reach out to them. So, man, where can people find you if they want to contact you? You got any public things you want to dish out there?
Yeah, man. You can find me on Instagram, Dayday King Smooth. All right, don't try to, hey, don't try to juice me now. It's DayDayKingsMoove. It's not really spelled smooth, but like it's smooth. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Well, I'll try it again. Maybe Instagram will work for me.
I'm gonna try it.
I got
I
Facebook
misspelled
too.
something along
Facebook.
the way.
Yeah, you can find me Dayday King. That's straight like that, Dayday King.
Dayday King on
And
Facebook.
you'll see me.
Cool.
You see me in a little tuxedo, looking
Yeah.
swift. Yeah.
Okay.
Looking smooth.
All right. Well, check that out. Maybe I'll like the picture. Maybe. We'll see.
You a hater.
Like, click the like button.
You're a hater.
Oh, no. Well, I got to see the picture. I got to see first. I can't just say I'm gonna
How?
like
It was serving y'all. You know I automatically get a like for that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll be the judge. Well, cool, man. Well, Dayday, really appreciate your time today, man. I think you're on spring break, so really appreciate you and T being able to allow us to come record here. Ishmael, man, appreciate you being able
Thanks for
to
having me, man.
being able to carve out some time in your schedule
Yeah.
last minute to be able to come on the show, man.
I'm
So
honored.
you guys are awesome. So thank you guys. But
Classy.
I don't know if I actually could find it on Instagram. Do you know if I followed you?
No, I don't think you did.
Oh, well then,
Because you salty. Because you
dude, I
salty.
tried.
You need to try.
I tried. It was the Instagram wasn't letting me. Instagram's got a.
You can't.
Well,
mix
it's probably the
gotta
spelling. You
fight
got
with-
that funky spelling
No,
on it.
it's Dayday
Yeah.
King, not D-A-E. That's what people put. You
D-A-Y.
put D-A-E in it.
No, I know it's DADAY.
No,
right?
it's D-A-Y. All together.
Oh,
All together.
DAYDAY.
So who fault is that?
What's
What
up?
he put?
Dayday. I'm not gonna be honest. Every time I spell your name, I'm thinking
Dayday.
Daddy.
What? Oh.
I'm thinking this sounds just like Daddy, and this is weird.
Yeah.
So maybe that makes more sense. DAYDAY.
Yeah.